There's no question that the iPhone 5 will get the new A5 dual-core processor because the iPad 2 got it. It's almost also certain that the graphics processor will be upgraded too. Some sources say that Apple has filed a patent for a fingerprint sensor on the middle of the slide to unlock area, so it will sense your fingerprints at the same time you are swiping, effectively making sure you are the owner of the phone. Even if Apple did file a patent, it may be for the iPhone 6 or whatever it would be called. It's unlikely but possible that the iPhone 5 will have it. Plus, if Apple did make it, it'd look much better than the picture I made. A big complaint about iPhones are that they do not have micro HDMI out like many of their Android competitors. Apple fixed this problem by releasing an adapter, but its price tag of $40 scared customers away. People hope that the iPhone 5 will have it built in so that an adapter won't be necessary. Apple will most likely not do this and just promote buying the adapter. Many people wanted a 64 gig iPhone, which never happened. I would call this a 50-50 chance that Apple would implement this in the iPhone 5 because there are not many people that want it, and 64 gig ones are harder to sell for them due to their significantly higher price tag. A huge inconvenience of FaceTime was that you can only use it over Wi-Fi. Apple will hopefully change this, but this is probably only an 80% chance because Apple may have not supported FaceTime over 3G on purpose so that people don't use FaceTime as an alternative to phone calls, which would then decrease revenue for carriers. There's no question that Apple will put an 8 megapixel camera in the iPhone 5 because they have to compete with the 8 megapixel cameras on most Android phones. Android home screens have everything you could want in them without having to open any app up. Apple will most probably support weather, calendar, and other updates on the home screen in iOS 5 to compete with Android. Just a few months ago, Apple released a CDMA iPhone 4 to open up to Verizon customers. Luckily, the contract between Apple and Verizon was not an exclusive one, and therefore means Apple can give the iPhone to other carriers. It may be possible that Apple may give it to Sprint. T-Mobile won't need it because they're merging with AT&T. Every new iPhone has been updated with a better battery life, so this one is probably not any different. Android phones are now rolling out with huge, very nice to use 4.5-inch touchscreens. We hope Apple will also do this to compete with them. This is only a 50-50 chance because Apple does not like to give up looks, and larger screen usually means bulkier. Ever since Sprint rolled out the first 4G network, there has been a 4G craze where all the Android phones and carriers are upgrading to 4G. Apple has not yet jumped into this craze, but there's a 50% chance they might do this in the iPhone 5, which would make the iPhone experience much faster. Many sources say, however, that they will only give 4G LTE to the iPhone 6 or whatever they're going to call it.